After the series got underway at Paul Ricard in France, we are now back racing here in Italy. This is the circuit better known the world over for motorcycle racing. However, in its nearly 50-year history, it has also hosted the likes of World GT and also Formula 2. Welcome to Misano on the Adriatic coast of Italy for round 2 of the Italian Formula 4 Championship powered by Abarth. The circuit known around the world for motorcycle racing is also a popular annual stop for the Italian F4 Championship. Now into the springtime with the worst of winter behind us, there was glorious weather with the temperatures approaching 30 degrees Celsius at the 4.2 kilometre track located in the north of Italy. Misano is located on the edge of Italy's famed Motor Valley, not far from San Marino and within the same region as such fabled names as Lamborghini, Ferrari, Ducati, Toro Rosso to name but a few, and also in the touristic region of Italy's Adriatic coast, which finally saw tourists return to the beachside towns of Cattolica, Rimini and of course Misano itself. The German team US Racing with their German driver Tim Trumnitz, who was the series leader after 2 fantastic race wins at Paul Ricard, was a notable absence at Misano, leaving the door open for his rivals to capitalise. Still a fantastic field of 30 cars on the grid for the second round of the 8th season of the championship, which last year here at this very venue saw Gabriele Mini take pole position and win his first ever car race before going on to claim the 2020 title. 30 cars leave pit lane for qualifying on a dry track on Friday evening just prior to another spectacular sunset. Sebastian Montoya the first to set a time, 1:35 dead for the Colombian American. Kirill Small, who remember won the very first race of the season at Paul Ricard, was second quickest from Fornaroli and Vishnitsky. Then Konrad Lawson went P4 ahead of Hamza Al-Khabaisi in P5, a sign of things to come for the Emirati. Small then responded with a 134.455 to snatch pole away from Ollie Beerman by just 14/100ths of a second. Fornaroli again with another great lap though, just 0.007 of a second behind Small and only fractions quicker than third place Montoya. The Iron Lynx driver would inherit pole position for race 1, courtesy of a penalty that Small had incurred from crashing with Bedrin at the season opener. Fornaroli, in great form for Team Iron Lynx, was initially quickest with a 134.3 before the Van Amersfoort racing driver in car 87 responded. An incredible time of 133.995, the only driver to break the 134 bracket, and his second best time also was good enough for pole position in race 3.
The team done a good job. Since FP we showed a good pace. We managed to do it in the qualifying as well, struggled a little bit in Q2 with a little bit of traffic and my own mistakes, but we managed to pole for the race 1 and just looking forward for race 1.
Was the the all-new Misano circuit that welcomed WSK promotion, along with their teams and drivers for the third round of the 2021 Supermaster Series. In the OK category, the real first twist of the weekend took place just 2 corners after the start of pre-final B. Lindblad, as exactly happened at Adria, touched an opponent and was forced to abandon the race and the event, resulting in a costly 0 in the standings. In the same pre-final, Kamada, the championship leader, was punished with a 5-second penalty for his part. Third place for Emo Fittipaldi Jr., much to the delight of his father, 2-time F1 world champion Emerson. The final was literally dominated by Antonelli, who wanted to recover the points lost in the previous rounds. Kamada saved his weekend by finishing second, and Tuka Tapinen third, the Tony Kart driver returning to the podium. In the 60 mini category, the favourite Lammers struggled due to some incidents throughout the heats. In the final, Kostoya, in the race to win the championship, lost contact with the leaders and critically ran wide at a crucial corner. On the last lap, the Dutch kid Rene Lammers was in the lead from the first lap until the last corner, but left a gap open. Taking advantage of this was Olivieri, who went on to take a sensational win, ahead of Jindra Peschel with Lewis Werrell third. In KZ, the domination of Moraine Kramers and the Birolard team continued. In the final, his opponents showed up on the grid, having saved a new set of tyres to attack the Dutchman. The quickest off the start was Juho Valtonen, but Kramers only needed a few laps to get back in front. Behind, Francesco Cilenta was putting on a real driving show. On his home circuit, he was carving through the pack until contact with Adrien Renaudin. Both were out. Kramers going on to win trouble-free. Second was Valtonen, and third Danilo Albanese, both driving Kart Republics. In OK Junior, the news before the start of the weekend involved Rashid Al-Daheri, who was forced to skip the round after testing positive. It was Alex Powell's turn to rule the show throughout the heats and in the pre-final, where he did finish second. But the final was another story. In the final, the positions changed virtually every lap. The long straights of Sano saw the young drivers reach breathtaking speeds. The Russian Kirill Kutskov threw the pack, passing kart after kart to take the lead. Kutskov took the checkered flag and the win, his first victory in OK Junior. Second was another Russian, Maximilian Popov, with Akshay Bora third. The fourth and final round of the championship took place at Lonato. With late spring weather, the warmth had finally arrived after the cool start to the season. The title fights were still wide open in all 4 categories. The track at the bottom of Lake Garda in the north of Italy would prove decisive. Also trackside, McLaren boss Zach Brown here at Lonato to watch Ugo Ugochukwu perform, the American having recently signed with the McLaren Junior program. In OK, Kamada, the championship leader, simply dominates in qualifying throughout the heats and in the pre-final. The final seemed a certainty, but Lindblad had other ideas. And although the Red Bull Junior could not take the title, he overtook the Brazilian with determination and precision and raced off to victory. Third was 2018 WSK Open Cup champion Luigi Coluccio, who won that very race here at Lonato, who got the better of Joe Turney at the race end. The championship went to Rafael Kamada, Antonelli second, with Lindblad third. In many, the challenge between Kostoya and Lammers was to prove to be one of the highlights of the weekend. Unexpectedly for a category like 60 Mini, the final didn't see titanic battles among the leaders. Lammers crossed the finish line first and takes the championship crown. Second on track and in the championship was Olivieri, with Vladimir Ivaninkov on the third step of the podium. Kostoya was only 10th at the checkered flag, but still managed third place in the championship. In KZ2, Emilian Denner simply dominated. From the first free practice session to the final checkered flag, behind the intrepid driver was Kramers, who could not match the French driver on this occasion. An excellent third, another Dutchman, Stan Pex. A fabulous podium drive coming from mid-pack. Kramers thus won the title, second was Valtonen, and third Victor Gustafsson. In OK Junior, the drivers out still to fight for the championship were Alex Powell, Akshay Bora, and of course, Rashid Al-Baheri. But both Alex and Akshay had problems throughout the weekend, leaving the opportunity for others. In the final, Rashid, who started from pole, conceded the initial lead to the two Brits, Freddie Slater and William McIntyre. The driver from the Emirates, however, did not lose heart and repassed both his rivals, returning to the lead and going on to win clearly. Behind him in second place was Harley Keeble, and in third the Japanese driver Ki Nakamura Berta. The championship went to Rashid, second the Brazilian Matheus Ferreira, and third the Jamaican Alex Powell. With this, the last race raced. The Supermaster Series is archived for another season. But the WSK season does not stop there. The Euro Series, the Open Cup, and the Final Cup will be the next events on the 2021 calendar. For the first time this weekend, we race. Immediately one car stalls, it's Kirill Small, who goes nowhere. Fornaroli down into turn one. Small has been avoided by the rest of the pack. Leonardo, super start from the Italian. And immediately up into second place, Ollie Bierman. That's a great start by the English driver. Remember, he stalled in race 2 off the start 3 weeks ago at Paul Ricard. As the first Bierman gets the toe on Fornaroli, going down into the Carol curve. Leonardo closes the door on the inside. Bierman tries the outside. There's Small all over the back of Montoya. Also a disastrous start for Sebastian. The Prima Power teammates just ahead of Wisniewski and South European as they complete the first lap of the race. Nikita Bedrin, much better start for the young Russian. The WSK Supermaster Series kart racing champion of 2020, taking that title last season with the Ward Racing Tony Car team. Nikita in P4. Now for the Fan Amersfoort Racing team, they're in 4 and 5. Bence Valent, Megotuniev, Jonas Reed. Then we go back to semi. There's Lorenzo Patrese on screen for the AKM team. Car 12 for the Italian. Race 1 of the championship 3 weeks ago in France is down in position 12. Bierman in second place, the English driver behind the Italian. Leonardo Fornaroli finishing in 8th, 7th and 4th. In the series opener, locks the brakes in car 72 for the Iron Lynx team. Tries to get the run, and Victor Bernier, the 2018 World Kart Racing champion. That was with the BDK Racing team. Genk in Belgium 3 years ago. He's catching the both of them. Victor, car 55 for R-Race GP in position 7. Jonas has a look into turn 8. Bence Valent holds him off for the moment. Bence slightly defensive. There is Victor. His teammate Semi Megotuniev right behind in 56. Victor in car 55 as Fornaroli continues to lead. As we pass a 1/3 race distance here at Misano. Ollie Bierman will just try and throw it down the inside. It is the Prema Power team versus Fan Amersfoort Racing all over again. In the middle of the circuit goes Honda in position 3. Fornaroli still continues to lead from Bierman in this battle. For third place, Honda, Alcabasi, and the Russian Nikita Bedrin. Onto the straight, and Nikita gets the toe. There's Bence Valent, Jonas Reed so close to the back. Victor Bernier right there trying to capitalise on the both of them. Gets the wide line, goes defensive, does Valent. Jonas Reed with one almighty send. Victor down the inside will try and take the both of them. Does not quite do it. Jonas Reed has got positions inside the top 10. Sebastian, what a move down the inside by Montoya. Takes both drivers from the R-Race GP team. Stalled off the line, recovers through. That was a sensational move by by the Colombian-American in car 6 R-Race GP drivers. Side by side, Victor Bernier, car 55, Semi Megotonif. So as we go further back in the pack, Kasper Stuka coming together with Piotr Wisnicki. So the two poles coming together. Wow, Wisnicki and Kasper Stuka. He's put it in the gravel. Kirill Small down the inside, just makes the move on Benz Verlint and runs into the back of the Hungarian, breaks the car. Wow, season opener. This is the final corner. The checkered flag is about to wave. Leonardo Fornaroli, car 72, Links takes his maiden victory in the Italian Formula 4 Championship. Super drive from the Italian. Leads home the English driver Ollie Beerman. In second place, Honda finishes P3.
Very fantastic race. We start from first position. I start very well, but Oliver was very fast at the start, but I dominate from the start to the finish, so I'm very happy.
Honestly, best feeling ever. I had a really good championship back in the UAE, and I got a few wins and podiums there, and the one thing left was to get the podium in a European Championship, and finally happened, so I'm really happy about it, and hopefully some more in the future. I would like to thank also my sponsors, Kaspersky Lab and Strata, and also my family. They're here with me, so it makes it even more special.
We race. Nice start from Ollie Beerman. Fornaroli slots in behind the pole sitter. A clean start down into turn 1. Sebastian Montoya goes P3, just ahead of the two R-Race GP drivers, Victor and Sami, Bernier and Megotonif. The BWT Muka Motorsport team drivers going through. There's Levent Diravesh, already trying to make up a few places. He's the Hungarian and does so. Benz Verlint, a forgettable race earlier today coming together with Kirill Small. Benz Verlint was in position 5, was the only DNF in a race that stayed green for the entire duration of 30 minutes plus 1 lap. Benz Verlint up into P12 as the field comes storming down the back straight. Out of Tramonto. Running off the circuit is Honda. She's in the gravel. Oh no, what a disaster after that brilliant drive earlier this afternoon. Lap 1, race 2. Honda third on the podium earlier today. In race 2, she's out. What a disaster for Honda. Alcabasi does not even complete the first lap. He's out. What a deflation for Honda Alcabasi as Conrad Larsen makes contact and loses some bodywork with one of the VN Eversport Racing drivers. Coming together with Hans Sanyu, who's also suffered damage, and Conrad Larsen looks as though he's got a puncher as well. The ruthless Russian Kirill Small splits them. He's gone by. Megotonif now hones in on the back of the 2018 World Kart Racing champion, Victor Bernier, in car 55. Small up the inside into turn 15. There is no space. There's the... Take that back. There is the... I'll be careful with my choice of words. There are those oh so eloquently placed sausage curbs on the outside of turn 15, so he cannot run off the circuit. Okay, I'll explain. We had 30 entries. Santiago Ramos in free practice launched over those. Misano. We will race under the lights here tonight. And the other categories that are racing in this Acci racing weekend, also featuring the Italian Touring Car Championship and GT Championship, as Kirill goes down the inside. The slightest mistake from Victor Bernier, and that's cost him. Kirill goes through and takes P4 away from Victor. after turns 13 and 14. Of course, it is. Get back to that in a moment as Sebastian goes down the inside. It looks like he's finally gone through and taken position two away from Fornaroli. Nice move by Montoya. Goes up into second place. Let's see if he can catch the English driver. Pressured finally, Fornaroli. Not into a mistake, but just a running ever so wide. And now Fornaroli, he splits the two Prema Power Team drivers. Cannot afford another incident. The Russian, after coming together with Benz Valent in race one earlier today. There are the RSGP drivers in the background. Surely not. A six-car fight in the dying stages of the race. Coming together with some almost runs off the road. The final corner, the checkered flag is about to wave. Ollie Bierman for the reigning drivers champions takes the victory here at Misano. Get that right, of course, they won it in 2019. There is the Dutch team. They take the win. Ollie Bierman from Montoya and Fornaroli home in third place. Kirill Smal home in fourth. Bernier and Megatonev. Bizzotto back.
Yeah, safety car would have been quite welcoming for the tyres and for me as well. So, yeah, either way, I was still happy to take the win. Felt like I controlled the pace quite well, managed my tyres. So, yeah, I think we're looking good for race 3.
Time this weekend here at Misano World Circuit. We race. Great start by Fornaroli, slots in behind immediately Ollie Bierman, who checks his mirrors. The Englishman goes down into Parco Variante in position 1. Sebastian into P3. Super start from Semi Megatonev. Goes by the Russian. He's already into position 4. Josh Dirksen makes his way through ahead of Nico Baptiste. Fornaroli! What a move down the inside. The Italian takes the lead. Goes in too deep. Bierman gets him on the way back. And Montoya watches on from right behind the rear wing of the Italian. Here's the driver from north of the border in Switzerland. Makes contact. Wow, the two teammates, 15 and 13. Bedrin and Josh Dufek almost ended their race in the gravel there and then. Nikita holds off Josh just. And Lorenzo Patrese right behind, catching the 3 drivers for the Dutch team as well. Well inside the top 10. Ahead of Bedrin, San Johan, still Lorenzo Patrese, Stuka, and you can see Maya Veg in the background, trying to take the pole as well, side by side from the 2 teammates down the back straight. Nikita tries to hold him off, runs out of road into the dust and the marbles, holds on to it. A huge moment for Nikita, and comes across the line at the end of that lap in P10. Nico Baptiste, wow! Off the circuit, into the grass, did everything he possibly could to avoid those precarious Johan and Lorenzo Patrese right behind. They come together big time. Oh, wow, they've been threatening all race. Josh Dufek just set the fastest lap of the race. And the 2 VAR cars take themselves out. Inspects airborne. A monstrous accident. Nikita Bedrin into the gravel and smack into the wall. He's out. Fortunately, he's out of the car. He is okay. And looking to take his second victory in the championship. Fornaroli a reprieve, and watch Montoya right behind in P3. 4.2 kilometers to race. The green flag flies. Bierman has to do everything again. Kirill tries to get the run on his teammate Sebastian Montoya. The 2 Prema Power teammates go side by side as Honda closes off. Victor Bernier in the background. Montoya holds on to P3. Ollie Bierman's gone. For not only in second place, side by side goes Megotunif and Josh Tufek. What a drive from Josh. From Switzerland, from grid 21, trying to come home in 5th position. Montoya defends from his teammate. This race has come alive in the dying stages. Ollie Bierman has driven brilliantly. A 3-second lead. That was a race behind the safety car. He sprints to that checkered flag. Ollie Bierman from England for the Van Amersfoort Racing Team takes his 2nd victory of the weekend. And with that, the championship lead going into round 3 at the eternal City of Rome at Vallelunga in 3 weeks' time. Van Amersfoort Racing back on top. England's Ollie Bierman is now the new championship leader on 107 points. Fornaroli, after his maiden series win here at Misano, 2nd on 80, ahead of Tramnitz. Small will be ruining points lost, but remains 4th on 66 points, ahead of Montoya and Lomko. 2 rounds raced and a new leader of the championship. From here we go to the eternal City of Rome and the Vallelunga circuit for round 3 of the championship. Thanks for watching. We'll see you then.